I think that Katrina brought a lot of documentarians, a lot of journalists to New Orleans, and I think it came from a good place initially of wanting to really show the world a disaster and what happened. Um, but I do think there's a degree of people feeling like they had a juicy story there. And poverty porn, as some people like to call it, I that happened, and there are people who came here interested in that. And I think the goal now is to try to make documentaries that really show the diversity that is here. And when I say diversity, I don't just mean like racial diversity, but I mean diversity of experience. I think that Katrina was a part of New Orleans' story, but it is not the whole story. And the more people try to tell different kinds of stories here, the better off we'll be. There's so much culture in New Orleans. There are so many people here who their culture is everything to them, and you have to be very, very respectful, more so here than in a lot of cities. There's that thing where you're never going to be a New Orleanian if your family hasn't been here for like generations or something. So I think that the whole I'm going to bring my camera and just start filming and see what I get isn't doesn't really work here in the same way. Like you really need to be really respectful, make sure that it's okay to film what you're filming, talk to people to understand what's going on. That is something that you have to do more here, I think, than anywhere. I mean, best practices, you should do that everywhere, but there's a lot of places you can just whip out a camera and film. But here, I think you've got to be a lot more sensitive to what you're filming and making sure that people want to be filmed. Um, I think there's New Orleans is a city that people have a lot of glamorous ideas about because of, they read a Anne Rice book or they've seen like some movie filmed here, and they have these sort of romantic notions of it, but they don't necessarily know what the city is actually like. I think I am in a unique position because I never really had the romantic notions about New Orleans. I always thought it was kind of an interesting place, but um, I wasn't one of those people lied in bed thought one day I'll go to the French Quarter. I no. So when I came here, I'm really interested in the part outside of sort of the romantic places. I just love how kind of friendly and down to earth everybody is. That felt really refreshing for me. And it reminded me of the New York that I grew up in. Growing up in the East Village, when it was kind of it was a little rougher, people didn't have money, it was just a bunch of artists getting together and squatting. I missed that, and New Orleans reminds me of that, because New York isn't that anymore.